Good evening and welcome to the Team Horney Racing GT Sport Hot Hatch Championship season finale. Thank you for joining us. We're looking at three exciting races here this evening. There's only 8 points in it between the top two drivers. Sam Coates 140 points and Jack Edwards 132. We are of course running a drop score system. So those take into account the drop scores over the previous 9 rounds. So you can see here we are at Tokyo Expressway. We're at the south route and a night race, first night race of the series, and we're hoping to see some great close racing here. Obviously, lots of walls. Incredibly precise driving that needs to take place just to get a clean and fast lap here. So we're really hoping we're going to see some close racing, but some fair racing as well. Jack Edwards here, 8 points behind Sam Coates as we come into these final 3 rounds this evening, and I think Jack is mastering the Clio round to the Tokyo. Having said that, of course, as soon as I said that, he's just clipped the wall here coming out of turn 5 and down into the big braking zone at the hairpin. Jack still looking to find a second and a half on Sam Coates here, as you can see, and then 1.2 seconds back to Nick Horn in the little Mini Cooper S, which is it's a good time there from the front wheel drive runner Nick, our championship organiser. Please excuse the technical pause. We've had some keyboard malfunctions here in the studio. We're just getting those sorted out. Looking here at Luke Davies on the Clio V6. Another firm favourite for a top 3 position. Isn't in the running for a championship win here this evening, but it's probably still looking for some good results. Nice to see Danny Grist back, even if it is just as we see him make contact with the barrier in the Civic Type R. Bit of an underdog of a vehicle, not obviously suffering against some of the turbocharged machinery and the bigger engine Clio, but nice to see a little bit of a mix, and we hope that Danny's going to be putting in some quick times for the front wheel drive boys this evening. Richard Kay here with making a return this week. Nice to see him out in the big Clio. Oh, taking a couple of stabs at the into turn 1 there. That's not going to help his time much. Everyone just trying to get the feel for the circuit on this this open practice. Just waiting for the official practice, the official 10-minute practice, to start in 5 minutes' time at past. Jason Perry here, hoping for another great battles tonight in the Focus ST. We're hoping to see him and John Gampston rekindle last week's rivalry, where we had a fantastic race at Spa, where we were just, it was the first time in a long time we saw a front-wheel drive car on the podium. And of course, here's Sam Coates leading the championship by 8 points. So his to lose really tonight. That smooth driving style really coming into its own in this championship, proving that clean and tidy really is still the fastest way. And here is John Gampston in the little Elf's liveried DS3. Really looking for some good practice time here. Hard on the anchors into the hairpin. Just trying to be wide in and onto the power. It's really important to get this this hairpin right and get the exit, because you're carrying so much speed now down this through this sweeping section. You're on the power for so long. You can see the cars up into fourth, up into fifth gear, and then sweeping through this left-right-hander, totally flat up the hill. We're still on the throttle. We've been on the throttle since we've left that hairpin. And I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking manoeuvres at this corner, or certainly even the run up to this corner, when people have got less than perfect runs onto the straights. Any second now. We're just waiting for our organiser to start the official practice. Here is our championship organiser, Nick Horn, in the Cooper S. Obviously, just looking for some a few tenths before starting the official practice session. Oh, that's not going to help him. Hard on the power, down towards the hairpin. And as we said before, just really looking for a nice clean exit here. On board with Nick. hear the road surface banging away. You can see the joints in the road. Somewhat off-putting when we were on board, thinking that there's a mechanical problem, but no, it's just the road surface. Absolutely flat through there. Nick coming up to this final few corners, this last complex, and he's touched the wall there. Edwards at the hairpin. Lovely drive out. Davies just behind. On board now with Luke Davies. Looking forward at Jack Edwards. Keeping it pinned through this section. As you can see there, we are looking at a 6-lap race here at Tokyo Expressway. We're just waiting for the official qualification to begin at 8:45. Just a few minutes now until we're going to start qualifying, and the action should pick up somewhat. Great to see here in this practice session that John Gampston is up into third place. So that's a front wheel drive, third in the running. And we'll just see if he can carry that through into qualifying. Hello and welcome this evening to the Team Horney Racing GT Sport Hot Hatch Championship season finale. You join us as we start qualifying, and we're looking at Luke Davies in the Clio V6, and we're here at Tokyo Expressway. We're looking for some close and clean racing tonight. As I've said, we have got 8 points in between first and second place. So Sam Coates currently leading the championship with 140 points, and this man, Jack Edwards, 132 points to his name. So only 8 points in it. So we're looking to crown a new champion for season 2 this evening, as Jack Edwards there uses a little bit too much road and a little bit of the wall as well. Not picking up a penalty, but it will have cost him some time. Jason Perry in the Focus ST, looking for another great battle this evening, hopefully with John Gampston in the Citroen. We had some fantastic battles last time out at Spa in the wet, so hoping for a repeat of that, and we'll see if we can catch up with some of them a bit later on. Obviously, a lot of focus is going to be at the front of the pack, because we expect that Sam Coates and Jack Edwards are going to be the two battling it out for the championship. You can see everyone here trying to get a toe off the back of Sam Coates' Clio, and Nick Horn taking a very fast line through there, but it's ultimately cost him. I don't know if he's going to pick up a penalty for that. Davies through the chicane, followed by Perry. Both of them looking to get a time on the board fairly shortly. So a 1:49.9 for Edwards. No one quite close there yet. 51.9 for Luke Davies. And Sam Coates a 51.3. So a little bit off the pace there. 1.4 seconds. Jack Edwards is out in front. Danny Grist in the Civic Type R, looking to see some nice action there. He's made a change from the Fiat Abarth 595 that he was out last time in, and I think he's going to be a little bit more competitive in that Civic. The Abarth was, although a cute car to look at, was certainly not the fastest. A little bit of handbrake application to get the back round at the hairpin, but he has got Large right behind him now, sat in the slipstream. Large will be picking up a toe here. This has got to be beneficial, surely. It's flat through here if you're brave enough, and our drivers certainly are. Just trying to get it stopped. Big sweeper. He's kept it off the wall. Both of them have kept it off the wall. That's great. But behind them is a whole gaggle of cars across the curbs. Taking a lot of curb there was Danny Grist, and he's picked up a penalty for that. That is not going to help him at all. That's the end of qualifying. Have they got another lap? Gran Turismo does this where you get random extra time allocated. But it looks like everyone is slowing down. So we may see some times in a moment. At the moment it's looking like Sam Coates did manage to pip Jack Edwards to the pole position. There's obviously someone still out there running at this point. Just a few seconds left and we will have some times in. So let's take a look at the times. So Sam Coates there, 0.3 of a second in front of his enemy and rival for this evening, Jack Edwards. And John Gamston there sticking the little Citroen in third place, so that's great to see. Let's join back the start. And away they go. And it's a great start from Sam Coates. Jack Edwards slotting in behind, as we expected to see. And Luke Davies and Richard Kay. It's 4 Clio V6s at the front. And already Sam Coates too hot into turn 1. He's picked up a 2.5 penalty. And Jack Edwards is straight round the outside of him. Luke Davies still in third. No, it's Richard Kay. It's got up to third with Luke Davies dropping back to fourth. Large in fifth. It's Clio V6s in the top 5. So it's Edwards from Coates. Just making a slight breakaway now, these two from the rest of the pack. Both of them really clean, getting the power on out of the hairpin, and you can see behind John Gamston doing a fantastic job getting up into 4th position, really mixing it with the big V6 cars. Jason Perry's looking for a move here. He's made it happen. He's snuck past Large there. Jack Edwards just out in front now. But hot on his heels is Sam Coates. Where's John Gamston? John Gamston just ahead of Luke Davies as they come into this technical section. Oh, and that's a lot of curb by John Gamston. But he's kept it clean and tidy, and he's pulled a couple of car lengths there on Richard Kay. So it's Edwards from Coates. Gamston just gapping Kay a little bit now. Nick Horn picking up a 1.3 second penalty, but he is in front of Jason Perry. It's whether or not that penalty is going to push him back down the order. Oh, that is close to the wall driving there. Jason Perry lining up a pass. You know, Nick may have a penalty, but if he thinks he's quicker, he's going to want to get past. Much tighter line from Perry, and he's made it work for him. On board in the Focus ST. There's Nick Horn right behind us. But at the front, it's still Jack Edwards from Sam Coates. These two are locked in a battle. A battle for this race and a battle for the championship. They're now 4 seconds clear of the chasing pack. And Luke Davies has snuck back up into third, but John Gamston straight back on the attack into the technical chicane. Richard Kay still there, waiting for these two to trip themselves up. Luke Davies. Hard on the power now. Up towards turn 1. Hoping to have a look at Gamston in front of him. Closing in now, Davies. Just balancing that bit, the big Clio through these sweeping corners. Richard Kay just biding his time here. Luke Davies is looking. He's looking. Gamston won't have any of that though. And he's hard on the power. He's on the power early. Luke Davies using all the road. On board with Richard Kay. Just looking for a little bit of a draft, a little bit of a tow here. But Luke Davies has picked that tow up off of John Gamston, but he's going to hit the wall. And this is a moment for Richard. He's round the outside of Luke Davies. Fantastic. Making use of Luke's little mistake there. Back at the front, it's still Edwards from Coates. And it's still close as ever as they come through this technical right-left chicane. 2/10 is the difference. And it looks like Sam Coates is starting to find a rhythm here. And he's closing up on Jack Edwards. Down the back straight, into turn 1. Trail braking it in, keeping the car settled. Sam Coates using a little bit more road there. Oh, and there's a bit of contact with the wall. That's not going to help Jack Edwards. But Coates is wide as well. Hopefully not going to pick up a penalty for any contact with the wall. Down into the braking zone. And a little bit of a gap opening up here. I don't know if Coates has made a mistake, but that's a mistake from Edwards, surely. Very wide. 7/8 difference now. John Gamston trying to get clear of Luke Edwards. Luke Davies, sorry. Richard Kay still hunting them down. Jason Perry in 6th position. And there's Nick Horn in the Cooper S. Looking at the back of the Focus ST. And Nick Horn, the back of that Cooper S, really getting lively there. Searching for any grip they can in these cool conditions. Luke Davies has got back past John Gamston, but it's 7/10 of a second penalty. So we're just going to see how this one pans out. At the front, it's closer than ever. Back to 2/10 again. These two are absolutely on top of each other. Sam Coates is looking for a clean and fair way past, as we've seen all of his driving in this series. It always seems to be nice and tidy. And again, you know, Jack Edwards the same. These two have really been in a bit of a class of their own. Whether it's been putting in extra testing time or just being quick out of the box, And obviously both of them are in the favourite car, the Clio V6, which has really dominated this championship. 7 seconds separate Sam Coates back to Luke Davies, who has served 3/10 of that 7/10 penalty. John Gampston will be looking for a podium here. We are on the penultimate lap. Nick Horn, big penalty for him. I don't think he's going to catch Jason Perry. Certainly with that 2.4 second penalty, it's not looking promising. But Jason Perry is going to have a look at Richard Kay. And Kay just keeping it there. He's got a 4/10 penalty though as they come into this technical chicane, and that's a moment for Kay. Surely that's not got. And Perry's through, and Horn might get a run here. Nick Horn, is he going to go round the outside? Yes, he is. An unfortunate moment there for Richard Kay. So the final lap. Jack Edwards from Sam Coates, and Jack Edwards has found 8/10 here. This is fantastic. This is keeping the championship well and truly alive. So it's Edwards from Coates from Davies. Back to fourth place is John Gampston. Still be looking for a podium finish even on this last lap in the little Citroen. I don't think he's quite got the pace on the big run, but if he gets this right, he may hook up onto the back of a slipstream. Let's just look at the times. 8/10. No, I don't think he's going to be able to do it unless he finds something in that technical chicane at the end of the lap. 6/10 now separate first and second place as we come into the final few corners. Jack Edwards using all the road, keeping it off the wall. Braking down into the right left. And Sam Coates is taking a lot of speed through there. But it's not going. I don't think it's going to help him out. I really thought he was going to pick up some kind of monumental run. So it is Jack Edwards from Sam Coates. Fantastic race. If this is anything to go by for the rest of the evening, I will be very happy. Luke Davies and John Gampston pick up for third and fourth respectively. Jason Perry fifth, and Richard Kay just for Nick Horn in sixth and seventh. So Jack Edwards, fantastic race there. Just managing to hold off Sam Coates, which is good news for the championship. Let's take a look at the results. So a couple of penalties there, but nothing overly negative to be seen. So we're just going to wait now for the next track to be selected and loaded up, and then we'll be back with some more racing from the Team Horney Racing GT Sport Hot Hatch Championship. Our driver's just taking a 5-minute breather in this particularly hot weather we're having here in the UK. So just a bit of a stretch and a cool down before we get back into the action. So here we are at Autodromo Lago Maggiore. It's a short little course here, but certainly not as Nick Horn runs out of road heavily at turn 1 there. Manages to gather it all up before the wall, which is always a positive. So we're just into the practice session now. John Gampston currently leading this practice session from Luke Davies in the little Citroen. These two very evenly matched last time out at the Tokyo Expressway, so we're hoping to see another close bit of racing. Very tricky braking zone here to get right into turn 1. Turn 2 very tight, and then you throw it down the hill towards this incredibly fast sweeping section. See what sort of times we can get on the board here. Does anyone improve on their times as we come over the line? Nick Horn certainly does, up into 4th. Looking for every possible bit of traction there through turn 1 and turn 2. A little bit wide, but he's kept his foot in it. John Gampston still at the top of this table. I'm not sure how long it will stay like that. We've got another driver joining us for this race, Noisy Paul. Paul V there. Another one of the Clio drivers, as Nick Horn has a little bit of a moment. Richard Kay in the very distinctive liveried Clio V6. Sam Coates is looking for a little bit of time here, and just as we cut to him, Jack Edwards pips John Gampston by 1/100th of a second to first place in this practice. Sam Coates not managing to improve on 3rd this time round. Maybe picked up a penalty. Certainly using all the track there. A little bit wide. Not finding the apex at all there. Down the hill. He's using a lot of road here, really pushing the envelope, just to see in practice how many liberties he can take in the Clio. Oh, and there's some sounded like metal against a wall in the background there. See if anyone can best their time as they come over the line. Yeah, Luke Davies can. He's knocked John Gampston back to third. Sam Coates still hanging in fourth now, so we're really hoping to see Coates improve here. That's more like it. Sam Coates managing to find a little bit more time there and is now on par with Jack Edwards. Just going to hold fire for a second while we get the qualifying underway, and we will be back with the action. Nick Horn first out on track with a gaggle of cars behind him, all looking to make the most of this 5-minute qualifying session. And straight out there is Sam Coates, looking for clean air at the front. Large running wide onto the grass. So it's Coates there, out in clean air. And Jack Edwards also looking for a bit of clean air, just trying to get past at large there. Danny Grist, didn't see much of him in the last race, but we're ever hopeful to see a little bit more of a tussle from the front wheel drive cars. It's hard to be across all of the action throughout the field, especially when there's so much at stake. With the top two. Speaking of which, here is Sam Coates, very much finding the apex of turn 2 there. Just getting us slightly unsettled, but managing the slide well. Maybe a little bit more curb could have been taken there, but always good to get a banker in. Braking down into the final corner, trying to get it hooked up. Let's see what Coates can put on the board first time out. Oh, it's good. Coates is a 10th above Edwards. Fantastic run out here from Aaron Large. Third place currently in this qualifying session in the Clio. And causing all sorts of headaches for Jack Edwards, who's trying to get a clean lap in. But maybe Edwards is going to use the Clio of large to his advantage here. No time to be made there. Okay, 5th position. All top 5 currently held by the Clio V6. Despite how difficult it is to drive, it is fast. Perry, Focus ST. We didn't see the battle between him and John Gampston that we were hoping for at Tokyo, but we may see it this time out. Nick Horn, 7th position. See if anyone's going to find a little bit more time. At the moment it's Coates from Edwards, from Large, from Davies. Richard Kay in 5th position. And the first front-wheel drive car is John Gampston, who is just ahead of Nick Horn in the Cooper S. It seems the Clio V6s are really dominating again this evening. Lovely little slide there out of the final corner by Luke Davies. See if he can improve on his previous lap. He doesn't. No improvement there. Just a few more seconds left of qualifying, and then we'll take a look at the order. And once again I'm caught out by the GT Sport time remaining, which is never seems to be quite accurate. We had a minute added there to this qualifying session, which is certainly beneficial for Jack Edwards, who is going to be looking for a pole position. He hasn't found it that time round. And this is the end of qualifying now. The four-way flashes coming on all the competitors' cars. Qualification has ended. So let's take a look at the qualification. So it is Coates from Edwards. From Large making a fantastic start. He's hoping to capitalise on that second row start, along with Luke Davies. So let's go down to the start. All the lights are on, and away we go. Good start from Coates. In fact, the first 5 really break away cleanly. Coates trying to find, and Edwards is looking, and he's touched there. Coates is fighting to keep it in. A little bit of a boisterous start. So it's Edwards from Large, from Coates. No, and Davies is now up into 3rd position. Edwards from Large, from Davies. Sam Coates back in 4th position now. Just needs to compose himself. The stewards will look at that move into turn 2. It may well be just classed as a racing incident, but Sam Coates is already looking at getting back into his stride as he pulls alongside Aaron Large into this deep braking zone. Coates is looking. on the switchback, surely into turn 2. He's made it stick, using all the road. Luke Davies now in his sights, looking back at large, but that's the goal. Riding on board now with Sam Coates. Jack Edwards just starting to gap. He cannot let him get away, but that's a mistake from Edwards, and that's let Davies and Coates close up just a little bit. Sam Coates desperately clawing. You can almost see his hand out the front window of the Clio, trying to reach out and grab the back of Luke Davies' car. And that's a fantastic first corner from Sam Coates. Look at the time he's made up. So here we are, lap 4. Slight technical issue. I do apologise. But we've had some close racing already. Sam Coates desperately looking to get back on form and contention with Jack Edwards. As we ride on board with Sam Coates into turn 1. Really starting to close up now. He makes a lot of time up through here. The concertina effect out of turn 2, using all the roads. A little bit of grass. Wait. He's used run a little bit wide there. That's going to cost him. Aggressive through there. It looks like Edwards and Davies are just getting the better of him, actually. Breaking into this tight corner. Davies going deep. Edwards is going to cut back, but this might help Sam Coates in picking up a bit of a slipstream off both of them. Luke Davies just alongside Jack Edwards, going to try and think foolish into turn 1. He hasn't done, and Jack Edwards keeps it, although slightly wide there. Not an ideal line through here, and Sam Coates has made the move. A little bit of rubbing there. There's a lot to play for here. And Luke Davies pushes Sam Edwards very wide, just returning the favour of the contact. And now Sam Coates has fallen slightly into the grasp of Aaron Large, having to go defensive. That's not going to help him catch up. Lap 6 of 12. So it is Edwards from Davies. And Sam Coates in 3rd. John Gampston picking up a little penalty there. A bit out on his own. 3.5 seconds clear of Nick Horn in the Cooper S, but 3.5 seconds behind Richard Kay in the Clio V6. Back at the front, it's Edwards. Taking a lot of curb through there, but not running wide. Coates has everything to do here. 2nd place in the first race. The points in the championship have really closed up now. And, That is definitely going to benefit him there. Jack Edwards' mistake. Jack going deep, trying to make up for lost time. Sam Coates getting rough and heavy with Luke Davies, but he's made the break. And Edwards is giving it everything he's got to stay with Sam Coates now. It's nearly a second gap now. This is looking good for Sam Coates, and we're only at lap 8. Still a lot of time for a mistake, but we don't often see mistakes from Sam Coates. Edwards is right there though. He'll be trying and he'll be pushing hard. Just try not to overdrive the car. Just let the car come to you, Jack. There's grip and there's pace there. And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Jack has dropped back to 4th with a move from Large and from Davies. But he's looking to get straight back on the offensive as they come down into turn 1. Jason Perry looking at the back of Nick Horn's Cooper S. Just trying to find every little bit of grip to get the power down in the Ford. Looking a little bit of a nudge there. Sam Coates now 1.6 seconds out in the lead. It's looking good for the championship. Very much keeping his championship alive. And Jack Edwards looking for any points he can find now. Certainly not looking for anything lower than 3rd. But he's got Aaron Large all over the back of him. Sweeping through. Into the last corner, Sam Coates is going to come across the line to win and to really stamp authority on this race. But more importantly than that, Jack Edwards is 3rd, and that is going to open up the championship just a little bit in favour of Sam Coates. A few little technical difficulties befalling us here in the studio, so apologies for the lack of audio at the start of that race. So let's take a look at the results. So it was Sam Coates from Luke Davies, from Jack Edwards, Aaron Large, Richard Kay, John Gampston, Nick Horn, Jason Perry, Paul V and Danny Grist. We're just going to take a small break now while we prepare for the final round at the Nürburgring. I think there's a lot of people looking forward to getting out on the Nordschleife, and we're hoping to see some close racing despite the enormity of the lap. So here we are at the legendary Nordschleife. As you can see, Sam Coates starting to seriously attack as he heads towards the Flugplatz. This practice time really going to be important for these guys. And round here, if they're anything to play for in the championship, really could go one of two ways. I think Sam will be really looking for a clean break and to get away at the front. If Jack wins here at the Nürburgring, Sam would only need a third place, and he is pushing hard, just looking for the limits. But he would only need a third place to make it work and to win the championship. So, qualifying just about to start. Waiting for the cars to get out on track. The first of your runners and riders will be Nick Horn in the Cooper S, with Sam Coates in hot pursuit. And the 5-minute qualifying is really not going to do us much use at all, because of course this is a very long lap here. And a big moment here for Horn and Richard Kay. Jason Perry in the Focus ST. The 2015 car with a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Certainly using all the road there, getting a little bit squirrely. Paul V in hot pursuit. Nick Horn and Richard Kay getting each other very tangled up there. So as we come into this round, Jack Edwards trails by 11 points. It was 8 points at the start of this evening, but unfortunately the third place out in the race just gone has pushed that up to 11. So really Jack's looking for a win and Sam to be fourth or below. Through this tight section, Sam Coates looking very on it here. Just really using this as extra practice time. Davies and Richard Kay studying each other's lines, for better or for worse. And John Gampson with Nick Horn in hot pursuit. Very technical uphill right-hander there. Incredibly difficult to get right. Start the run up towards the sweeping, very cambered right-hander that leads them into the climb, the big climb up the hill. Certainly were the more powerful cars, although despite, you know, obviously having a balance of performance, some of these cars will have just that little bit more torque. And if you've got the run, it can mean all the difference in this long climb. Sweeping left-handers. Gamston here, really showing us how it should be done in a front-wheel drive car. Really been the star of the championship from a front-wheel drive point of view. Road there. So, no times on the board. I'm just going to see how this pans out for the race. The grid is lining up in the order that you see in front of you. So it is Sam Coates from Jack Edwards, from Aaron Large, from John Gamston, Nick Horn in 5th position. Let's go down to the grid. Lights are out and away we go. Sam Coates a little bit crossed up off the line. Jack Edwards will have seen that and will be on a charge. Remember, we're looking for Sam Coates, needs to be 4th place or below, and Jack needs to win this. Clios have really made a break at the start of these V6s. Nick Horn, 6th position, keeping it nice and clean and tidy. And Jack Edwards is already having a look, but he's got Aaron Large all over the back of him. It's not going to help if he's have to drive defensively. And Sam Coates just eking out 0.6 of a second as they head towards the Flugplatz. Large is tucking into a slipstream. The cars go light and they sweep through this right-hander incredibly fast. Coates really looking to make a clean break here. He's looking good for the championship at the moment. John Gamston out on his own in 4th. Hasn't quite got the pace of the front 3, but certainly got the legs of the rest of the field. Now he's not 0.3 off of that gap. All he can do is win here in this 2-lap race of the Nordschleife. Luke Davies from Jason Perry and Richard Kay with Nick Horn just in the background there, chasing them down, using every bit of road possible. And Sam Coates is off. A little bit of pressure there, maybe getting the better of him into the braking zone. And Jack Edwards is all over him now. He'll be tucking into the slipstream. They're just gapping Aaron Large ever so slightly. And that's a mistake from Coates. He is wide, he is very wide, and that has cost him. That has cost him. That could be the championship. That's Edwards from Aaron Large, and Sam Coates has dropped back to 3rd now. We are just waiting to get adjudication on who got the fastest lap in the first race, because that will make a big difference to this championship potentially at this point. And it's another mistake from Sam Coates. Jack Edwards, really unlike Coates to have so many mistakes, but obviously the pressure is showing as we come into this final round. All the road being used by everybody. And Aaron Large is not hanging about. He's certainly keeping Jack Edwards honest. 7/10 back now between Large and Sam Coates. Are we likely to see this exact battle continue for another lap? Richard Kay with Jason Perry into this sweeping right-hander. Get this right. Drive up the hill. Well, this is not what we wanted to see. But it's certainly what Aaron Large wanted to see. He is now leading the race, and Sam Coates is closing down on Jack Edwards. Large from Edwards from Coates. About to head up to the carousel, and Coates has got underneath Edwards. As the championship stands, Coates would take the victory. With incredible consistency after missing the first 3 rounds. Large just starting to pull a little bit of time. He's got to be careful. This kind of driving style is fast, but it can't be consistent at the ring. There's too many opportunities to make a small mistake and it to cost you greatly. It's certainly working for him at the moment. He's pulled out 8/10 now on Sam Coates. The car incredibly sideways at every opportunity. Nick Horn looking to close down Luke Davies in any way possible, including using a lot of grass. Something's happened here because Jack Edwards is back into the lead. A little mistake from Large potentially, but he's not giving up. He's got a run here. This is a fast section to be looking to make an overtake. A lot of brave pills required here, and we're just hoping it's going to be clean. Sam Coates wide, but kept his foot in it. Incredibly difficult braking into this sweeping right-hander and into this left-hander. Very easy to run wide. They've all hooked it up nicely though as they head towards the mini carousel. Oh, and Large has made a mistake. That could change the complexion of this championship altogether, because as they sit now, these two have broken away, and Edwards is wide, is very wide, and Coates has followed him off. Jack Edwards now just starting to gap, but as the positions stand now, it would be Sam Coates that would be your Season 2 champion in the Team Horney Racing GT Sport Championship. Nick Horn with Jason Perry looking for a way to try and close up. Facing a little bit ragged in the back of shot there. Hear the supercharger whining on the Cooper S as they come onto the long straight. Luke Davies in the background there. It's not all done. Sam Coates, small mistake as they come up to the line. Jack Edwards just doing all he can. This is where he needs to be. It's his only option is to win. What happens behind him, of course, will make or break this championship. And talking of what happens behind him, John Gamston, despite picking up 0.3 of a second penalty, is absolutely on fire. Here we're on board with Gamston, trying to close down Sam Coates in the Clio. The DS3 making astonishing ground through this technical section at the start of the lap. We may see the power make a difference here, though, of the Clio. You can hear the car going light there, throwing it in. Oh, and there's a moment there, rear wheel just touched the grass, but he's managed to gather it all back up together. The gap extending though to 2 seconds. So as you can see, out in front is Jack Edwards from Sam Coates. We're on board with John Gamston in the Citroen, and there is no one behind us because it's 22 seconds back to Richard Kay. We're going to see another front-wheel drive car on the podium. Well, it's the same car in fact, but another circuit, and it's in the dry this time. And John Gamston is not letting Sam Coates get away here. This is astonishing. This is, of course, the second and final lap. And he's attacking the curbs there. A little bit of a moment. Can he keep it on the black stuff? Only just. He's driving the wheels off this little Citroen, using all the road and some. Edwards is doing what he has to do at the front, which is lead this race. Incredibly tricky corner here, this left-hander. Always so easy to run wide. We saw Coates do that on the previous lap. Gamston in control of the little Citroen. It may not look it at times, but doing a fantastic job. Still a 10th of penalty to take. That will be taken throughout this lap, I can imagine. It's still 1.8 seconds between him and Sam Coates. As it stands at the moment, we're going to be crowning Sam Coates the Season 2 champion. Jason Perry out on his own a little bit now. Nick Horn has made the break. Picked up a little bit of a penalty here, but that's not going to cause too much of a problem because he's 8 seconds clear of Jason Perry. This is a slightly lonely run for Nick Horn, but he's collecting points either way. Jack Edwards still out in front, 1.6 seconds, 1.7 seconds clear of Sam Coates. John Gamston just losing out a little bit of time now. Lost 0.2. Danny Grist in the Civic Type R. Picked up a 0.4 penalty. And a big moment there. It's another 2 seconds there. That's not going to help him in his mission to chase down Luke Davies. 1.5 seconds now. Sam Coates a little bit squirrely in the background. Sam Coates though, all he has to do now, and he went very wide there, but all he has to do is finish in the top 3. But talking of which, John Gamston is all over Sam Coates after that mistake, but he's popped out of the top of the carousel, and that is not going to help him. Had to give Sam Coates a little bit of room, and in doing so, lost the line. And he's run a little bit wide there as well. Really thought that there was a bit of an opportunity there. Feisty little Citroen, not giving up though. Only 3/10 between them. This is the closest it's been in a long time. Wide lines from Gap. That's cost him some serious time there. That's unfortunate. We were looking for a bit of a showdown at the end of this lap, but it's down to up to 1.3 now. We're not going to see quite the exciting finish unless Sam Coates makes a mistake, and of course it is the Nordschleife, so it is possible. And Sam Coates has lost some time there. John Gamston is right behind him. Coming into the last section of this lap really now. Less than a third of this lap to go. Gamston is all over. He's going to make the pass. He's round the outside. A little touch from, and he's had to keep his foot in it. And contact again, and that's it. Around goes Gamston. He's managed to keep it, just running down the barrier there. But that's unfortunate. That's a racing incident there. No real fault of either driver. Unfortunately, Gamston coming back onto the track, and it's at that point that they just made contact for the second time. Jack Edwards sliding the Clio through the corner onto the big long straight here at the Nordschleife. Jason Perry, 2.5 seconds clear of Luke Davies, but 8 seconds behind this man here, Nick Horn, in the Mini Cooper S, our championship organiser. And Gamston's still got 1.4 seconds of his penalty to use up, so I think this last ditch effort at the end is going to be in vain. Because I think it's going to be, it is indeed, it's Jack Edwards who's going to win this race. A fantastic race for him. Sam Coates second, and a deserved championship win for Sam Coates. After missing the first 3 rounds and taking 3 zeros as his drop score, he's really shown us that consistency right at the top end has been his hallmark really as in this championship. Fantastic effort, and everyone is very much looking forward to next time out. So victory for Jack Edwards there. We're just going to take a short breather while we run down the final positions. So in that race it was Jack Edwards from Sam Coates, John Gamston in 3rd place in the little Citroen, Richard Kay in 4th, Nick Horn in 5th, Jason Perry 6th, from Luke Davies, Danny Griffiths and Paul V in 9th place. Well, thank you for joining us for another evening of racing here at with the Team Horney Racing GT Sport Hot Hatch Championship. Big congratulations to Sam Coates for taking championship honours, having only made 9 of the 12 rounds. His consistency, smooth driving, and just general clean racing has really impressed me, certainly, in the commentary box. And a valiant charge from Jack Edwards, who was always looking, right from the first round, was looking as a hot championship favourite. Certainly gave him a run for his money. But in the end, it was Sam Coates' championship, and big congratulations to him.